Blessings and welcome to the path to freedom, this beautiful path where we continuously get to set ourselves free to be in ever expanding love and joy and harmony, wholeness, abundance, beauty, where we continuously get to set ourselves free to forever allow for greater and grander versions of ourselves to emerge and the next great and grand version of ourselves to emerge. And we do this all by releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves. So as we're moving along this beautiful path, we're not ever adding anything onto ourselves, but we're always releasing and letting go of that which is not in alignment with who we wish to be, how we wish to show up in life, and what we wish to see manifested into our experience, the good that we desire. So it's all about shedding. It is all about dropping, outgrowing our previous selves, our point of views, perceptions, opinions, judgments, fears, worries, and doubts, and so on and so forth. My name is Daniel Roquillo, and I'm deeply grateful and honored that you are choosing to join me, maybe for the first time or once again. Either way, I thank you so much for being here, for tuning in to participate. Today we are talking about envy and jealousy and how they never serve us, but that we're wise to flip them into celebration. And this topic came to me. I was having a conversation the other day with an individual, and they were giving voice to experiencing envy and jealousy because they saw someone having what they wanted for themselves, right? And as they saw this individual having what they wanted to see in their own lives, jealousy arose, envy arose. And so we were having a conversation around this, and I was able to share that even though jealousy and envy might be normal when we perhaps see someone having the good that we desire, or hear of someone who has succeeded, or whatever the case may be, it hanging on to these vibrations, hanging on to these thought forms, hanging on to these feeling tones or emotions does not ever serve us. Because if we dissect both envy and jealousy, what they mean and the vibration that they carry, they both carry the vibration of lack. They both carry the vibration of scarcity. If I'm envious or jealous of someone having something or doing something, in essence, what I'm saying is I don't have that. They have it, but I don't. So I'm envious of them. I get jealous of them. And as the universal laws, as these sacred laws always mirror and reflect the chronic, the habitual, the predominant vibration that we carry, what we think about the most, what we talk about the most, what we feel about the most. As we are engaging in these lower vibrations, as we are giving energy to the perception of lack, the sense of missing something, of not having something, these sacred laws, they cannot but reflect that vibration. They cannot but bring us the substance of that vibration. In other words, for this particular individual, as they were engaging in their envy, and they did not only experience it momentarily, but they hung on to it. They invested time and energy into feeling sorry for themselves because they did not have the good that they wanted, that someone else had. And what is happening is that as this was this individual's predominant vibration, the sacred laws cannot but reflect that into this individual's experience. And so a beautiful way of using envy and jealousy, because I said it's kind of normal for individuals to be jealous of someone having something that they want for themselves. But using that awareness, when we become aware of having or holding on to or experiencing envy or jealousy, a way to use that as a springboard, a way to use that as a stepping stone to higher vibrations, is to flip it, to flip the envy, to flip the jealousy. So yes, we are experiencing that, but we flip it to actually celebrating the good that the other is having. We rejoice. We celebrate that they have that good. And we celebrate it not as only them having it, but we celebrate it as though we was having it. So, for instance, let's say that we want to experience greater financial abundance, and we hear of someone, or we meet someone, or we talk to someone who is experiencing that financial abundance, that financial freedom. As we perhaps begin to experience envy and jealousy, what we do is that we take that as an indication that here's something that I need to go to work on. This is a perception within me, a sense of lack, a sense of scarcity. Now I flip it. So I keep my attention, we keep our attention on the fact that the other is having and experiencing and living this financial abundance, this financial freedom. And we begin to celebrate that. We begin to celebrate that they have so much money, that they have so much money that they don't even know what to do with all of the money. We begin to celebrate and really feel grateful and happy for them. Now, what happens is that we have closed the gap. We have turned our attention away from our sense of not having, away from our sense of the good that we want is out there, or it's in some future moment, or it's not here at all. When we lift our vibration while having our attention turned toward the good that we desire, even though it may not be fully present in our lives, now we're moving ourselves into vibrational alignment with that. So now we're in the space of, I have the good that I desire because I'm happy for it. I'm celebrating it. I'm rejoicing the good that I desire as I'm turning my attention to it. So we're having our attention turned toward the financial abundance, toward the financial freedom, and we have raised our vibration to the level of knowing that all is well, that something wonderful is happening. So now we are not, because the only one that is stopping anything from coming into our experience is us. The only thing that is stopping anything from coming into our experience is our ways of thinking. And so as we begin to celebrate, whenever we hear of someone enjoying the good or experiencing the good or having the good that we want for ourselves, we celebrate that. We rejoice. We move into happiness for them. And now, boom, all of a sudden, we are the vibrational match for that. Now, I'm not saying that this is easy because I know that the ego will protect. The ego, or not protect, it will object. The ego will make up excuses such as, oh, what are you laughing about? What are you so happy about? You don't have that good. It's out there. They have it, but you don't. What do you have to be happy about? Or things like that. So we need to exercise discipline. We need to move into the celebration, even though the surface appearance may be to the complete contrary. It may be that we perhaps are not in this now moment having enough money to pay our rent or to pay the bills at the end of the month. But we need to begin to celebrate, turning our attention toward the lack, the scarcity, turning our attention toward the fact that we don't have the good that we desire, that we seemingly don't have the good that we desire, is more appropriate to say, or more accurate to say. That's not gonna bring us out of the current condition. But the only way for us to move out of this space is by raising our vibration, by changing our narrative. So we need to begin to rejoice whenever we see the good that we desire, be it in the possession of someone else, be it someone else experiencing or having that good. We want to move ourselves into celebration. We want to move ourselves into rejoicing, into happiness. We want to raise our vibration while having our attention turned toward that good. Now, as we have expanded our consciousness, as we have raised our vibration, we are open conduits, we are open vessels for that good to flow into our lives. Whatever we turn our attention to the most is what we're inviting into our experience. And so if we are turning our attention toward the good that we desire being somewhere out there, it's always going to be out there somewhere. As long as we turn our attention toward the good that we desire as someone else is experiencing it, but we are not, that's always going to be our experience. Someone else has it, I don't have it. So we need to bridge that gap and flipping the envy, the jealousy into celebration and joy and happiness. That is a beautiful and very powerful way of bridging that. I don't really want to call it a gap, because it's not a gap. It's more about us having our attention turned in the wrong way. But we need to turn our attention toward the good that we desire as though it was already here, because it is. It might not be here in our experience in this physical dimension, but every single possibility for each and every single one of our lives, for every aspect of our lives, exists in the infinite mind. So us celebrating being financially abundant or being financially free or financially independent, and I'm just using money and finances as a way to illustrate this. This could just as well be about health. This can just as well be about livelihood, career, relationships, or whatnot. But when we are taking on the feeling tone that the good that we desire is already here, it's already done, it's done in the infinite mind, and it is here in our vibrational field. It may not have demonstrated itself yet, but it is here. It is still here as we know it to be done, as we know that it already is, as we know that it is done in the infinite mind, and it is happening now. It is unfolding now. It is demonstrating itself now. It is manifesting itself now. As we take on that feeling tone, there is nothing there's nothing that can stop the manifestation. Granted, we need to find a way to sustain this feeling tone. Remember, whatever we talk about the most, think about the most, feel about the most, that is what we're calling into our experience. So if we are taking on the feeling tone that it is done and that it is happening now, all that good that we desire, and we do that like 30% of the time, but the rest of the time, the 70%, we are turning our attention toward the lack and scarcity, the absence, the seeming absence of that good. Well, that is then what we're inviting into our experience. So we need discipline. This is work. My dear beloved, this is work. But if one individual has been able to do this, and there are many individuals that have moved themselves out of particular conditions to allow for something much more expanded to emerge. There are countless individuals. If but one was able to do it, it means that we're all able to do it. If it has happened once in creation, it means that it can happen again. So, yes, we might fall prey, we might be hijacked by surface appearances, by external conditions and circumstances, but we need to take our minds back. We need to bring our attention back to the good that we desire, taking on the feeling tone that it is already done, that it is here. In a very good way to do that is by celebrating, rejoicing whenever we see abundance, whenever we see health, whenever we see love, whenever we see someone doing what we want to do in life. We rejoice. We rejoice. We celebrate that good as though it was ours, as though it was us living that life. We give thanks for it. We give thanks for it. We give thanks for it. And when we do this, my goodness, magic happens in our lives. Our lives begins to shift. Our lives begin to be transformed. We begin to be transformed by the renewing of our mind, and ultimately by releasing and letting go of our tendency, our habit to habitually turn our attention toward what we don't wish to experience. As we begin to turn our attention to what we wish to experience, more and more and more of that will begin to flow into our lives with such ease and grace, not through struggle, not through efforting, not through trying to make it happen, but through ease and grace. Because we moved ourselves into vibrational alignment with that good. And where there is vibrational alignment, manifestation must and will occur. Thank you so much for tuning in, for participating. Until we meet again, I bless your day, and I bless your way, knowing, absolutely knowing, that right where you are, all is well. That right where you are, something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for your highest good. With much love, many blessings. Namaste.